Yes, people, we're Sunny Edwards and we're weighing in.
Yes, weighing in with the IDF World Flyweight Champion, Sunny Edwards. Sunny, I've seen you in tracksuits, I've seen you in basketball tops. I've never seen you looking so dapper, man. Talk to me about this grip.
Now, to be honest, I thought it's time to make an effort, you know. I like getting suited up for the right occasion, and I think headlining a show in my adopted hometown and bringing world title boxing back to Sheffield is a worthwhile occasion as any, you know. And I wanted the pictures of me all looking all. I scrub up quite well. People don't believe it, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I've been getting called a crackhead all week, so hopefully now I've had a shave and I've got the suit on. They won't, you know.
I don't see many crackheads looking like that.
No, I know, you know what I mean? Not cheap, you know, the French connection on the suit, you know what I mean? The Gucci on the shoes, you know what I mean?
Listen, let's get into it. Talk to me about Friday night, November 11th, Steel City, Sheffield Arena, headline homecoming. What a night it's going to be.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. I've had a big sort of say on the card, who's on the card, where the card's going to be, where the public workout press conference is going to be, etc, etc. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The show sold very well, probably one of the better Sheffield shows in a while, outside of Dalton's, you know, that did a very good 5,000. So, yeah, looking forward to it. I'm blown away really by the amount of, you know, tickets, support, interest that there's really been. But I think Sheffield's dying out for these events, dying out for the night. So, you know, with that sort of being said, I'm going to probably look to keep bringing the fights back here, outside of fights that take me elsewhere. You know what I mean? I'll go wherever the fight's biggest, but I think for me, Sheffield's probably going to be my home from now, definitely.
Love that. You're defending your title. Dalton's doing the same the night after. You also have Levi Kinciona and Thomas Asomba.
And Nikolai Campbell.
You manage all three of them?
Yeah, so all three of them are on my card, and I manage all three of them. Well, you know what I mean? Manage, we use that term loosely. Let's say I advise them. But they've got managers, but I'm involved, definitely. So yeah.
So with all them on the card, how big a week is it for you and your boys?
Yeah, man, you know what it is? Like, I've believed in it from a long time. If you get up to a certain position and you've got an opportunity to bring your people that have been around you through, then you must do. Do you know what I mean? It just is that I'm just that way inclined. Even other fighters I rang personally to try and get them on the card, and they're here, you know, like people like Ishmael, people like Khalid Ayub. So you know what I mean? So I think
that's massive, man.
Yeah, man. But it's what I genuinely believe in. Looking at the fighters that genuinely deserve some opportunities that maybe haven't had them outside of someone giving them to them. Because unfortunately, in boxing and the rest of the world, it's no secret. No, it's not really what you know or what you can do. It's a lot of the time who you know and what conversations can be had and when they can be had. Do you know what I mean? So if I can be the guy that pulls a few strings and gets my people a platform, then you know what I mean. I'm gonna die on that hill because I genuinely believe in that. And like I said, they all deserve it. You know what I mean? So.
Thomas Asomba is in a great fight. It's been long anticipated.
In the home corner, no less. In the home corner.
He goes against someone who you shared the ring with, Marcel Braithwaite. What kind of threat does Marcel pose for Asomba, and how do you see that fight going?
Marcel's physically quite strong. He's physically quite strong, and he gets involved in the fight, especially in the clinch. He's doing little things. He's knee on your knee, he's wrestling you, he's headbutting you. But it's all within, you know, I guess the parameters of physical combat. So he'll do anything to win. He wants it. I know he dedicates a lot to it, and he's sort of waiting for the moment where he sort of wins on that platform. You know, he's had two opportunities really and come up short both times against me and Jay Harris. I don't think they massively wanted this fight. I don't think they was in no massive rush for it, but he hasn't got nothing else. I mean, Marcel's from Liverpool, Asomba's from Cameroon, and Asomba sold over double the tickets. So, do you know what I mean? It's he hasn't got the support. He needs something to start sticking. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be against Asomba, if I'm honest. I genuinely believe that Asomba's going to beat. Asomba's going to beat Marcel better than both me and Jay did. And
they can both bang. Do you think it'll go the distance, or will we see a knockdown and knockout?
I don't know. Thomas hits very hard. If anything, he always tries to hit too hard, and that's always been his issue more than anything. Especially with not full camps and, you know, getting fights 2-3 weights above him. Marcel's physically strong. I wouldn't say he could bang. I know he put me down, But watch it back, I had one leg completely in the air. I wasn't hurt. I was winning the round before, and I won the round after. And after I got up, I really won the fight. Do you know what I mean? I kind of, all right then, you cheeky little fucker, here I come. And I just punched his head in after that. So he's kind of lived on that, putting me down and being one of 2 men in my whole career sparring life to put me down. But I don't care about that. I think in their small minds, they believe putting me down was better than me beating them. The way they speak, it's mad in my opinion. But yeah, Asomba's looking great. He's been training like a proper professional athlete who loves the sport of boxing for the first time as a pro for about the last 18 months. Since he's been at our gym, he's been my sparring and training partner all through my fights that I've been having. He had his fight in Denmark where he upset a local 6-1 or 6-0 prospect on Danish TV. Beat him every round, beat him easy. Since then, he's come on levels, he's come on leaps and bounds. He's been in the gym the whole way through, not taking his foot off the pedal. He was meant to fight Marcel as a chief support on Channel 5. They pulled out of a ghost injury a week before. They said they sent us the scan. They didn't send no scan. They sent a physio one line of, oh yeah, he can't box. It wasn't no scan, no proof. It was, you know, if I went to a physio and asked him to write it, they'd write it. But so be it. He then fought about 5 weeks after he pulled out against 0-28 journeyman or something. And then was, and a week after pulling out was calling out Prince Patel. So I think they tried avoiding it previously, but they realised that there's no opportunities for someone that sells 30 tickets, you know. And that's not me saying it in a disrespectful way. I've seen the ticket list of how much he sold and the £1,000 of tickets that he sold. Do you know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, he needs something to start sticking for him. So he needed this fight. He needed the opportunity. And they've been restored. They've been very quiet this week. I heard that they won't even get turned to the press conference, which would be ridiculous if that is the case. Very ridiculous, but I think he will. It's a press. What's the word?
Official presser.
Yeah, but it's a it's like a non-negotiable. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but he should be capitalising on it. I can't believe that he hasn't tried, you know, stirring me up and getting in my head, like just on like a shake the referendum feathers and get some attention and traction to his career. But you know, when my fight, he was the same, headphones on, didn't want to speak to no one, didn't want to look at no one, and it's the same here. And you wonder why you don't, you know, generate no interest. You're not doing anything to generate interest. Like, people probably wouldn't have even known he was a boxer here yesterday until he got in the ring. Do you know what I mean? He had his headphones on, he had his coat on. But, you know, Thomas is 100% confident for this. He's walking around with a massive smile on his face. He loves boxing. He loves living in Sheffield. He loves the Steel City gym. And I genuinely think you're going to see a proper performance. Like, I'm so confident. Genuinely, I've been looking forward to this fight for so long.
Speaking of looking forward to fights, just touching your fight, it's not really the fight you really wanted. I was there when you were at the press conference for Dalton. You were very pally-pally with Eddie, because the Martinez fight was very nearly done, but then it collapsed. What happened?
Well, I'd agreed everything. Started camp, was waiting for contracts to sign. 6-7 weeks later, he was asking for £1 million to fight me.
Wow.
Exactly. And then pulled out the fight negotiations. I got told over a phone call, yeah, the fight's not happening. Cried that day, I'll be real. That was the last time I cried. Went home, I left the training session. I was fuming, I was devastated, because that was, for me, was everything my career needed right now. It was. And yeah, he pulled out, won in £1 million. Yeah.
Let's talk about Friday night then. Alvarado is the opponent. But before we get into that, actually, you must have heard the news that bamrodriguez has vacated his title to fight for the WBO flyweight title. And he says he wants to mix it with you or Martinez. What's your reaction to that, first?
Well, I would advise him to not bother even getting into conversation about the Martinez fight with him. You'll probably get your time wasted. He just cares about dyeing his hair and wearing sweatsuits in Renault's gym and probably on some Clenbuterol again or something. I mean, he's not even in my... It's annoying right now, because after he pulled out then and wasted my time and stalled me for 7 weeks, I could have fought Alvarado already by now. He was going to be on mandatory. We was, you know, getting creative with, you know, getting this fight, and then if I won, I would have defended first against Alvarado. Was patterning that, and then just wasting my time, to be honest, completely. So if I was bamrodriguez, I wouldn't even entertain the conversation unless they're guaranteeing 25% of the purse on signing the signature, because I wouldn't have a fight with him now without that put in place. He just wastes your time, absolute time waste. But bamrodriguez, that's a great fight. He's a great fighter. I think he's up there for fighter of the year, definitely, around world boxing. If he doesn't get it, it's probably only someone like a Bivol that can sneak in front of him.
Is that the fight you want next to him?
Definitely. Beat Alvarado, it's the only fight I want. Beat him and then leave out the flyweight division, because Dalakane doesn't want to fight me. They didn't even want to open negotiation for the AJ Usyk undercard. Was offered a slot on that and they didn't really pick up the phone or get back to us. Didn't want to know. So, you know, they were trying to do the whole Ukraine thing. But yeah, so I'll probably look to go up weight, beat bamrodriguez, and chase for the biggest fight up there. Whether that's a Roman Gonzalez, whether that's a Quadras Estrada, Siskra, I don't know who people are. Probably Roman Gonzalez, but would he want to fight me? I think he's a training partner or something along those lines of Alvarado, so he's going to have a good look at me. I know they know each other, I know they're sparring partners. So he might get a good look at me at this night, and then that fight might never happen either. But it's just one of them. I've struggled. I've really, really struggled. People think I just say it like for what sounds good. I would genuinely say I'm one of the most avoided fighters in world boxing. I was definitely one of the most avoided fighters in Britain. I mean, I was a British champion for 18 calendar months before I won my world title, and they stripped me of the title for winning the world title. That was the first call on Monday I got. Oh, well done for winning the world title, yeah. You've been stripped of your British. Oh, thanks. Didn't have a chance to defend it because 18 monthly circulars go around as they do, and not once did one other fighter in my division put their hand up and want to fight me of any level, of any note. 18 months in a row, not one person, and every single fighter was offered the fight because I was trying to get 3 defences in a year. How stupid was I to think that was a possibility? You know what I mean? How stupid was I? But yeah, and then at world title level, Martinez avoided me. Dalakane didn't really want to start talking. I don't know. I like Dalakane. He used me as a sparring partner, so I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm just saying my side of things. Ricardo Sandoval opted to fight 2 people for a world title rather than me as the one. He was literally one day away from being made mandatory for my world title. Instead of Alvarado now, it should have been Ricardo Sandoval. He pulled out, announced the fight with Jimenez to then fight Dalakane, lost against Jimenez. So that shows me that, you know, a golden boy top prospect would rather fight 2 men for a world title than the one in me. So you can say I'm not avoided all you like, but for me, the proof's in the pudding. No. But and I'm on the same narratives for years, like, because I don't lie. Like, people think of me a lot of other things. People get annoyed at the way I speak, the confidence in which I speak, maybe how I try to ruffle a few feathers that try to ruffle mine. But the facts are the facts. I don't lie. When camera's on, lens on, I don't lie. I don't say something that I can't back up, you know. So yeah, I'm definitely avoiding. Maybe when I start going up the weights, people just start looking at me as a little flyweight coming up, and it might be that little bit easier to make a fight. Who knows? After this Alvarado fight, people might think I'm an easier touch. Who knows? We'll see how that goes.
So then lastly, just away from boxing, you said that a lot of people say a lot of things. Someone who's been in the headlines is obviously Geordie, the comments he made about Muslim people. What are your thoughts on that, man?
Well, I mean, I've been asked that question in every interview this week, which I think is bizarre, really, because I weren't ever expected to talk about True Geordie in any interview ever. I reacted to a comment he made on Twitter. I've got a lot of Muslim friends, like genuinely a lot of Muslim friends. So for someone of such an influence, from the demographic that he's targeting, probably, you know, I'd probably be in that demographic, there or thereabouts. Stereotypically in that demographic. But the message, the people that he's promoting his message to, you can't be going around calling all Muslims terrorists, or the way he phrased it. In order for one person to prove he's a Muslim, he has to blow himself up in a suicide bombing to prove his faith. That is so damaging to public relations, and you know, people actually will take that and take that as funny, and then other people will take that as, oh yeah, well that's what they should be doing. Like, where's your thought process? Like, even his co-host in it was like, it's a stereotype. Oh, yeah, but he's only making a joke. Do trying to disclaim him, and he weren't even picking up on it. He was going digging, and then later on in the thing talking about, oh, but are you fully blown Muslim? Like, and he said things previously, so it's like maybe he's got very like maybe he's Islamophobic, maybe he's just ignorant, maybe he's just a muppet who makes YouTube videos, and okay, he's made money and he's made a success and he's got his following, but you know, I've never had to, and I don't know many men that have ever had to put a camera up and say an apology to the lens, you know what I mean? For me, that ain't no man. If you can't live by the words that you're saying, then what sort of man are you? You made a video and then a week later you're apologising? You're not sorry. You're a bitch. You're trying to not get cancelled. You're trying to protect your financial surroundings and your lifestyle. Off camera, he's saying the exact same things and he's got the same sort of mentality. He's saying that Andrew Tate can't change from one to another, yet he's found a religion and he's questioning it, and he's questioning the sincerity and the integrity of his belief and his faith. He's doing that, but now everyone should be questioning his apology, because if he didn't start getting his sponsor, Gymshark and etc., or whoever it was that cancelled his contracts with him and a lot of the backlash, he wouldn't have apologised, because he didn't apologise for the first 2 weeks of saying it. He didn't come up the next day and go, oh, you know, it was a... You know what I mean? So he's not sorry. I think he's just a muppet on YouTube, and I'll be real, a lot of them, they don't understand the real world because they got put into a bubble so early, because they captured the growth of YouTube. You know, there's certain ones in there that got on early and became like the leading ones, and he was one of the ones that was on early, so he's then existed in this sort of world of him being a somebody, where outside of YouTube ever existing, he would have probably been an absolute nobody, a muppet, someone that got laughed at in the street, you know what I mean? I remember when he tried throwing his weight around at one of these thingies, he's a sausage, man. In my eyes, he's a sausage, but yeah. But I think obviously when and a week fresh off, you know, getting an interview with Tyson Fury and offending him, and I know a lot of people going, oh, but he didn't say nothing wrong with Tyson Fury. There's definitely some questions in there that was spot on. Well, a lot of people don't want to see Chirazor. Why are you fighting him? And he pretty much said, because he's the biggest name out there. But why are you doing it? You said about legacy. But you said it, like, he's proper trying to drill him into a corner of where he's tripping himself up and saying something he's not supposed to. Like, we all understand why Tyson Fury is fighting Chisora for the third time and not a Joe Joyce or not a Hrgovic or not a Jalilov or not any of these other dangerous fighters, because that fight sells Tottenham Arena. None of the other fights do. Do you know what I mean? Like, so just chill. And me, as I said previously in an interview yesterday, I've got a lot of respect and admiration for boxers and people that have dedicated their whole life to the same spot I am. We genuinely risk our lives. People say, oh, like, that's sensationalism, but people have lost their lives in the ring fighting for £800, £1,200, £1,400. So anytime anyone gets in the ring at any level, regardless of who you think is better or not better, you're risking your whole everything, your brain, your body, your health. So True Geordie, a man that's made his videos for however many years, and you know, just brands like does football watch-alongs, and like, you don't have, in my eyes, the right to be trying to interrogate a boxer. I'm sorry for their choices. We risk our lives for your entertainment. So just give us a break sometimes. You know what I mean? He fought Wilder off a 3-year layoff, basically, when no one believed he was even remotely going to be competitive. Everyone, like, most people thought he was going to get beat that first fight, and he didn't, and then he come back. And then he come back, and he done everything to entertain and build a name and to be the main talking point of the last few years of world boxing, pretty much, with a few others. Just leave him be, man. He wants to fight Derek Chisora. He wants to fight Derek Chisora. Like,
with that said, I think it's about time for you to make your grand entrance onto the stage.
I don't know. I think they're doing undercard first. I'm not sure, unless they're doing it in. I don't know what they're doing, to be honest. I've not really been debriefed. I've been getting interviewed since I got here.
But listen, thank you for your time, as always.
No worries at all,
thank you for weighing in, bro.